What's good, YouTube? That 182 here, back again once again. And today, I am your coach of the Tucson Terrakions in the UCL, the United Championship League. And today, a very tired Nappy is here to go over our Week 5 team preparation against Pinsir, coach of the Newcastle Nidokings. So if you guys are hyped for some team prep, if you guys are hyped for UCL, if you're a proud member of the Nappy Nation, you're supporting the Tucson Terrakions, make sure you smash the like button down below for us, because you already know your support is really appreciated. And I'm a very tired Nappy boy here today because it is 9:30 in the AM. And Pinsir, being the British Brit he is way over there, and he's 8 hours ahead of us. And the only way I'm able to battle him, because he's going out of town, is to wake up at the crack of fucking dawn, even though it's not the crack of dawn, but still, I normally don't record or operate this early unless it's sun and moon news, but we're here for our battle. I got me a nice fat cup of coffee, and I'll break the fourth wall. And let you guys know that I always record these team preparation videos literally right before we battle. So you don't have to ever worry or have any doubt in your mind that the opponent is going to see our team prep or this or that, yada yada yada. No, I always record it right before we battle because it gives me a chance to review and recap our game plan, our strategy, our mons. And you know, my mom used to have this saying, and it always used to annoy me so much whenever she would say it, but it actually has stuck with me over the years, and it is that repetition is the mother of retention. If you take notes and you write those notes, you are more likely to remember it than if you just sit and listen to it. If you go over your team over and over and over again, you know, after you build it, recap it. I do this team prep right beforehand. It freshens the information in your mind and helps you remember. So again, repetition is the mother of retention. So we have our team built. Let us see what the Newcastle Nidokings have in their draft. Their 3 OU picks are Amoonguss, Megadeoncy, Quagsire, Infernape, Cresselia, Haxorus. Wait! Oh, this is not good. I'm already a sleepy nabby. Their 3 OU picks are Amoonguss, Megadeoncy, Quagsire. Their 3 UU picks are Infernape, Cresselia, and Haxorus. Their 3 RU picks are Hitmontop, Dugtrio, and Aerodactyl. And their 3 NU picks are Electivire, Mismagius, and Ursaring. Literally, the entire draft is scary as shit. You know, there are often times when people will, like, their NU or maybe their RU picks are a little on the weaker end because, you know, once you get to that point, there aren't as many good mons available, so they just become like throwaway picks. Not with Newcastle Nidokings. Every single mon on their goddamn team is just either fat or threatening as shit. So this is a very scary week. And on top of that, Pinsir, being the sneaky little duck he is, he went and snagged Nexus to team build before I could. So I couldn't team build with our regular Sensei Nexus. We had to go to Hokage Joey. But Nexus is a Hokage. Joey can be the Kazekage Joey. To team build this week. So Joey and I sat down and we team built, and we got ourselves a spicy, sexy little team. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Up first, we have Titania, our team captain. The Mega Gardevoir is coming through, and I think this is one of those things where pretty much every week Titania is going to show up. There isn't really, you know, as of right now in this 6th-gen meta, fairy types are predominantly the most aggressive, not most aggressive, predominantly the most predominant type. English, what is it? You know, fairy types honestly are a huge threat. And I know I said back on the week 3 team prep against Nips that, you know, you shouldn't always expect me to bring the same mon, yada 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 this, yada yada that. I think that's not going to be true when it comes to our Mega, just because the whole reason we drafted Mega Gardevoir is because Mega Gardevoir hits like a goddamn truck. Fun fact, fun story time with Nappy here. Last week, it was Twit versus Nexus, and I knew what Nexus was bringing, and when I saw Twit team building, Twit was putting together a team, and you know, when you want to offer advice and whatnot, but you don't want to like flat out just tell the other person what the other person's bringing, so you kind of just like give him just general advice on the team building and whatnot, and Twit showed me his team, and he didn't have his Charizard. And I said, okay, wait, Twit, I don't care who you're battling, whether it's Nexus or anyone else, you have arguably one of the top 5 Mega Evolutions in the game. you have to bring your Charizard. Damn near every week. You know, it's literally just a nuke sitting there in the back of your team waiting to go off. And his whole thing was he didn't want to bring it because this mon counters it, and this mon counters it, and this mon counters it. And one thing that I'm noticing a lot from team preparation videos for a lot of the coaches in this league is that they'll oftentimes not bring 1 or 2 mons because they have a couple other mons that are threatening that one mon on the other side of the field. And it's like, I think Shino, I was talking to Shino about it, and he put it best. You know, it's 6v6. It's not 1v6. So even if the other team has a couple mons that threaten your Mega Evolution or threaten one mon, like maybe a Cleric or a Defog or a Stealth Rocker or a Spinner or whatever, just because they're there doesn't mean that you can't bring that mon at all. You know, you have 5 other Pokemon on your team to help you handle that threat to that one mon. That's the whole point in team preparation and building a team that fits you best. So in turn, I think Titania, even if we have mons on the other team that threaten it, which, I mean, look at last week's battle. David and South Beach Slowkings had a Scavalier and Steelix, but we still brought Titania anyways. We had other answers to those mons. So either way, most of the time Titania most likely will be coming. I think she was on every team last year, and even then most people are going to prepare for her as it is, so there's no point in hiding that fact. But she is here with Hyper Voice, Side Shot, Taunt, and Protect, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, and 4 in Defense. Her max speed, of course, to outspeed Haxorus, of course, once you Mega Evolve, and it just wasn't worth speed creeping, because I think Haxorus is like base 97 or something like that, and it just didn't end up being worth speed creeping. So with our Mega Gardevoir, Hyper Voice and Side Shot touches damn near everybody on the team, gives us great enough coverage to tear through. Actually, no, it actually really does give us coverage to tear through everything on the Newcastle Nidokings team. We originally had the idea of HP Steel just for the Deontay, but again, Hyper Voice does more, and Shadow Ball for the Cresselia, but again, Hyper Voice does more. We have Taunt for the Cresselia, and perhaps the Amoonguss as well. Protect just because if we maybe want a Toxic Stall. Actually, I don't remember if we have Toxic on anyone. But if for whatever reason we need to Mega Evolve and Protect just to outspeed, that's our answer right then and there. I think when it comes to most of the Newcastle Nidokings, we do outspeed. Excuse me. I know we don't outspeed the Mega Deontay, the Infernape, the Dugtrio, the Aerodactyl. And I think, barring any other Scarfers, we do outspeed, hence why we wanted to run max speed in this case. But up next, we have, for the first time this season, I did not think he would ever see any gameplay, but he's here now. We have Safety First, the Mega Pinsir. We are Adamant Nature, 252 speed, 252 attack, 4 in HP, and he's here for multiple reasons. Safety First is here for multiple reasons. Now, we're Adamant Nature. Again, it's one of those things where his speed is just kind of basic. You know, he's base 85, so he's kind of sort of in the middle where, like Patter's team, he has a lot of speed stats all over the place. So it's one of those things where obvious mons like Mega Deontay, Infernape, Haxorus, Dugtrio, Aerodactyl, Electivire, you know, we're not going to outspeed. But then on the flip side, things like Amoonguss and Quagsire and Cresselia and I think Ursaring for sure, we do outspeed. So it's like there's no point in us trying to speed creep when we need the speed to outspeed half the team, whereas the other half of the team doesn't outspeed us. But he's here for multiple reasons. As you see, we are Focus Sash, Mold Breaker. On the Newcastle Nidokings team, Mega Deontay carries Magic Bounce. Mold Breaker ignores Magic Bounce. So in turn, this is a safe way for us to get up rocks. We are Focus Sash as well, so that means that if we decide to lead with him, or if we want to send him in at some point, as long as rocks aren't up on our side of the field, they're guaranteed stealth rocks. And looking at the Newcastle Nidokings team, I don't see a way to get rid of rocks. Well, there's the Hitmontop, Rapid Spin. I'm not sure if Aerodactyl gets defogged or not, but aside from those two, I don't see any other way for them to get rid of rocks. Someone is messaging the absolute hell out of me right now. I don't see any other way for them to get rid of rocks, so stealth rocks will be very important just for the chip damage on bulkier mons like Cresselia, Quagsire, and Amoonguss, and the offensive mons like Deontay. Even if it's just a little bit of damage, Infernape as well, and especially the Haxorus, we can just chip. So we have him rocking X Scissor, Earthquake, Quick Attack, and Stealth Rock. X Scissor still does a shit ton of damage to mons like Amoonguss and Cresselia. Earthquake still does a shit ton of damage. I think it almost OHKOs Infernape Deontay eats it up a lot better, of course. Haxorus takes massive damage as well, and then quick attack is there just for that extra priority at the end. I think it does like 10% on Deontay, so you never know when that little bit of priority will come through and actually save the day. So safety first is here. It's going to be interesting because he's not a Mega Pinsir. He was, in fact, our last draft pick, and he was kind of just chilling there. But it is one strategy, is one tactic that may work. Again, little things like this. Every time you build with Joey, just these little tidbits that just contain this plethora of knowledge just explode, and you're like, oh, I never really realized that. Another thing that I was talking about with Joey before we move on is Joey was talking about Patters' team. And Patters' team is, like I said, there aren't really any terrible draft picks. He's super hyper offensive most of the time. You know, you have Infernape, Mega Deontay, Haxorus, Dugtrio, Electivire, Aerodactyl, Mismagius, Ursaring. You know, he's very, very hyper offensive. He has his walls, like his amazing wall, Corvamungus, Quagsire, and then Cresselia is there just being fat. But at the same time, you know, Haxorus is a very scary Pokemon. Infernape's very, very good in this league format. And Mega Deontay is just fucking scary. Excuse me. So, to that extent, there's one of two ways that you can handle a hyper offensive team like that. It's either you need a considerable amount of bulk to the point where you can stall it out, or just outbulk their team, which isn't an option for us, or you need to go hyper offensive as well and out offense the hyper offense. And that's our idea, that's our plan. I'm sure if you guys have noticed looking at the team preview so far, we don't really have a lot of defensive mons. So hopefully all goes well and everything is good to go. Up next, we have Pearl, the Dragonite. She is returning this week. We are Adamant Nature, 140 speed, 252 attack, 116 HP, Outrage, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Extreme Speed. Now, you may be asking why you're running Outrage and Dragon Claw. It's because we suffer from that typical 4-move syndrome. You know, there really isn't any other move that we need on Pearl this week. This covers everything well enough. And Dragon Claw allows us to have a one-turn move, and we're not locked in until the Deontay dies. Because last thing we need is for Pearl to click Outrage, and Pattern swaps into the Deontay, and we're just stuck. And we just get Moonblast all fucking back. So that's why we're running that. We have so much HP investment because we only put 140 into speed, because again, looking at Patters' team, his speed stats are all over the place. There's only certain mons that we will outspeed. You don't know what's the travesty. Dragonite's base speed is 80. Haxorus' base speed is 97. Why is Haxorus almost 20 points higher than Dragonite? Just think about that. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Why is it 20 points higher than Dragonite? But with that, I don't remember what we sped crept this for though. Let me see here. I know the screen just went black for you guys. Let me see here, because I have this. What I did this time was I went and made. This is just all over the place. What I did was I saved my notes this time. I don't remember what it is that we sped crept for, but I think it may have been the Electivire, perhaps? No, I don't think it was the Electivire. Or Cresselia, maybe? I don't remember what it is that we sped crept for, but we did speed creep. It says we have 112 remaining. Why is this not max attack? I was gonna say, what the hell? Why is that not max attack? But we sped crept for certain mons on the team. I have to sit down and do the speed calcs again before we actually dive into battle. But we sped crept so that we can put a little more into HP. Of course, we have the odd HP number so that we can come in on stealth rocks if need be. But it is a typical choice band multi-scale set. And like I mentioned with safety first, the Pinsir before, it's always nice to have that little bit of priority. And Extreme Speed Banded D-Knight has come through so many times. I think E-Speed Banded D-Knight does like 30% to Mega Deontay or something like that. Something around there, unless I'm getting the calcs mixed up. It is early in the morning, okay? It is early in the morning. So, of course, it's standard, and it goes with the whole idea of, yet again, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it, so we're good to go. Hopefully, Pearl will just chill in the back until time comes for her to come in and just sweep. We just need to whittle down the rest of the team, and at the same time, ESP Dragonite does a considerable amount of damage to Haxorus as well. So, if a Haxorus sweep begins to happen, if he does set up a Dragon Dance, we can at least get off guaranteed damage with E-Speed, and we're good to go. Up next, we have Britannia, our Empoleon, I believe, is Britannia the only person besides Titania who's come every single week? Let me see here. Britannia has joined us every single week alongside Titania. Yo, the Tanyas are just putting in the finest of work, but Britannia is here, and we are Relaxed Nature, which ups defense and lower speed. Rocking 4 in special attack, 252 defense, 252 in HP. Shuckaberry holding, of course. This is our Haxorus answer yet again. I say yet again, like we deal with so many Haxoruses. But we're carrying Shuckaberry again because Haxorus's moveset most likely will be what? Outrage, Dragon Dance, Poison Jab, Earthquake. So Poison Jab and Outrage we can eat up confidently, but an Earthquake he might click, and I think he needs 3 Dragon Dances to OHKO from full HP with a Shuckaberry. I think even if he has 2, we have a chance to live from full HP. And in turn, we have Scald, Ice Beam, Aqua Jet, and Toxic. This is the Toxic user we were talking about. And Joey and I were debating on whether or not it would be worth running Defog on here. And I ended up saying ultimately that I would rather have Toxic specifically for the Cresselia, because with this moveset, Cresselia would have to Shadow Ball us over and over and over again. And we have considerable special bulk as it is to begin with. So Shadow Ball, I'm sure we're living, so I would just want to get a Toxic off on that Cresselia so that in turn we can stall it out and do whatever we need to do. But back to the Haxorus, the Shuckaberry allows us to take the Earthquake. Ice Beam does like a clean 75% to Haxorus, and in turn Pearl, as I just mentioned before, can come in with the E-Speed and sweep up. So we're Scald, Ice Beam, Aqua Jet, and Toxic. Toxic for Cresselia, Ice Beam for the Haxorus. Aqua Jet is there for the Infernape. Now, obviously, we can't have Choppleberry and Shuckaberry, so it's one of those things where if, for whatever reason, the Infernape comes down to a few HP, few points of health, I think Aqua Jet, even with no attack investments, does like 30% to Infernape. So again, it's an option that's there, and I don't think Patters would see it coming. I think a lot of people would just expect a standard Empoleon set. So if we can get just that little extra bit of damage off with the Aqua Jet, that'd be great, because I could see him wanting to send in Infernape as a revenge killer. Like, for example, if we were to Ice Beam and kill a Haxorus, he would know that we're not Choppleberry. He could send in the Infernape and just try and click close combat. But we click Aqua Jet, and even if he's at full, we get a clean 35% off, which allows us to Pearl to take, it just gives Pearl an even better chance to take out Infernape, because I think E-Speed does like 40% or 50%, something like that to Infernape. Infernape's frail. Or even if he doesn't have a lot of HP because he comes in on rocks over and over again, Aqua Jet might be the one thing that just ends up helping us take out the Infernape. So I don't know, we'll see, but it is a good idea. I do like it because honestly the most threatening mons on Patters' team are the Mega Diancie, the Infernape, and the Haxorus. Moving right along, we have Joey Galaxy, the Thundurus next. Now, Joey Galaxy, the Thundurus, has been a very useful member of the team so far. He has honestly served his purpose 100,000 million bajillion quadrillion %. When I first drafted him, if you guys remember, I said I wanted a hard-hitting special attacker, and literally he has come week in and week out and done just that. We are Timid Nature, 20 HP, 20 investments in HP is what we had left over, 8 in defense, 252 in special attack, and 228 in speed. We have the extra 8 left over because if we were to add it to HP, it would give us an uneven number, and we don't want that. So we decided to plop it in defense because why not? But we did speed creep Thundurus here, and I believe this is what I had in my notes, because after one Dragon Dance, Thundurus still outspeeds Haxorus. This is like the Altaria situation last week with David in the South Beach Slow Kings. If Patter sets up one Dragon Dance and decides to just go in, we can in turn send in Joey Galaxy as a revenge killer. We have HP Ice, which will do a shit ton of damage. 2 Dragon Dances, however, kind of scary. Kind of sort of scary. But aside from 2 Dragon Dances, we do outspeed everything on the Newcastle Nidokings team with our Thundurus, barring any choice Scarfers. If he wants to run Scarf Infernape, Scarf Aerodactyl, Scarf Dugtrio, for whatever reason. Actually, I think that's it. Barring any choice Scarfers that have a higher base speed stat than us, we outspeed them because, like I said, Infernape, Dugtrio, and Aerodactyl, their speed stats are already sky fucking high. So if he wants to scarf them, then in turn we're going to be outsped. But unless those mons are scarfed, we are good to go. We're running Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, Hidden Power Ice, and U-Turn. Thunderbolt, obviously, stab hits so many mons, hard as shit. The Diancie, the Infernape, the Cresselia, the Haxorus, the Hitmontop, just everything gets absolutely obliterated by base 145 special attack. Grass Knot is there for the always apparent Quagsire. Hidden Power Ice is there for the Haxorus and the other ground types, if I don't want to lock myself in a Grass Knot. And then we have U-Turn because of said ground types, because we still wanted an option for initiative, and U-Turn's obviously not there to do damage. It's just as long as Dugtrio is a problem and Quagsire is a problem, we can't safely Volt Switch out. So we decided we can still have that initiative and just U-Turn out and not have to worry about anything. And there's the Motor Drive Electivire too. So we're not safe to click Thunderbolt until he's gone, unless he doesn't bring him, or we're not safe to click Volt Switch as long as they're around. But with those 3 mons blocking our Volt Switch, they don't block U-Turn. So it's just, like I said, it's not there to do damage, it's just there because. Our final member on the squad is another new team member and our first regular shiny. You guys may have noticed I don't bring shinies all that often because, I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of all these shiny forms, but this one's purple, so I like him. But we have Nautilus the Omastar. Modest nature, 252 speed, 252 special attack, 4 in special defense, because why not? Focus Sash with Shell Armor, Surf, Ice Beam, Hidden Power Grass, and Shell Smash. Now, I'm a little bit proud of this because this was my idea, and I brought it to Joey because this is one of those things when we were building our 6th and final team member slot, we had a few different options. We discussed Ambipom, we discussed Drapion, I think Gallade might have been brought up, but not for long. We didn't really speak about Gallade for long, but either way, we discussed a few different options for this, and I brought up this idea of Omastar because if, for whatever reason, we get a Shell Smash off, we can sweep the Newcastle Nidokings. Literally, with this moveset, we sweep and do incredible amounts of damage to every single mon on their team. We are Focus Sash, so that if we send it in, we get a guaranteed Shell Smash off. Surf, because Surf does more than Scald, and with this moveset, we're not interested in trying to burn, we're interested in absolutely annihilating. So Surf does more damage, and it's reliable, unlike Hydro Pump, because if we set up a Shell Smash, last thing we need is to miss a goddamn Hydro Pump. We're carrying Ice Beam, of course, for the Haxorus, for the Amoonguss, for any ground type, you want to be that guy, as if Surf doesn't cover it. HP Grass is there for the Quagsire, which I believe, even without a Shell Smash, HP Grass OHKOs it. But the only problem with this is Patter's priority users. Newcastle Nidokings priority users being Infernape with Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave, and Dugtrio with Sucker Punch, or a potential Sash Dugtrio. Because with this moveset, well, number one, we can't be gritty because of Shell Armor, but I was going to say, with Shell Smash, even being modest, once we set up a Shell Smash, we outspeed everything on their team. Barring any Scarfers, of course, again. But we outspeed everything on the team with just one Shell Smash, being modest nature. We don't even have to be timid. We outspeed everything on the team. So the idea is that turn 1, we lead with this, and best case scenario for us, Patters leads with the Mega Diancie, because he would expect us to try and set up rocks. He sees Britannia, he sees the Omastar as well, and even the Pinsir, and thinks, okay, well, he's going to have options for rockers, so one of those must lead first. Let's Mega Evolve, Magic Bounce them back. That was the original idea with Safety First, is that we have Mold Breaker, so no matter what, turn 1, we can get rocks up. But best case scenario is he leads with the Mega Diancie, Mega Evolves, and then goes for Protect, because even if we lead with the Omastar, you know, it's a rock type. He doesn't want to catch a Surf for whatever reason. Shell Smash would be kind of apparent. That would be like something in the back of your mind, but are you really going to Shell Smash turn 1? Or are you going to go for rocks? Or just straight up go for damage to try and kill this Mega? So ideally, turn 1, Patters leads with the Mega Diancie, Mega Evolves, clicks Protect, we get a free Shell Smash. At that point, Mega Diancie's getting OHKO'd, Amoonguss is OHKO'd by Ice Beam, Quagsire is OHKO'd by Grass Knot, Infernape's OHKO'd by Surf, Cresselia, I don't think it's OHKO'd, but I think Surf does like 75% or something like that. It's a shit ton of damage. Haxorus gets OHKO'd by Ice Beam. The Hitmontop, actually the Hitmontop I don't think gets OHKO'd. So Hitmontop might be a problem if it's bulky enough. But if it doesn't, at least it gets like 80% off with Surf or something like that. The Trio gets OHKO by Surf and Ice Beam. Aerodactyl gets OHKO by Surf and Ice Beam. Electivire gets OHKO by Surf. Mismagius gets OHKO by Surf. Ursaring gets OHKO by Surf. So like I said, we're running Surf for damage, reliable damage, instead of Scald, because we're not looking to burn. I mean, burn would be nice, of course, but with this moveset, we want to Shell Smash and try and hit as hard as we absolutely can. Like we said when we first started, the idea is to out-hyper offense the hyper offense. So hopefully all this works. The worst possible lead that he could have would be Amoonguss, because if he leads with Amoonguss, we have to swap immediately. Not only because he's quite effective, but if we Shell Smash and he clicks Spore, then we have a problem, because we've wasted a Shell Smash and now we're asleep. Well, it's not like we're wasting a Shell Smash. We can swap out and our stats are right back. If we had a Whiter, we'd be wasting the Whiter, but at least with that, we won't be asleep. We don't have to worry about anything, and that's not what we want. So aside from that, that's the best and worst leads. Everything else from there kind of just gets tricky, whether or not what to do. Like if he leads Infernape for whatever reason, we are sashed. We can live anything instead of a Shell Smash, but the next turn if he carries Mach Punch or if he's just sashing on himself because he's, well, I said if next turn if he carries Mach Punch, then we're dead. So that would be a problem. That would be an issue that we're not really looking forward to. So I don't know. Like I said, everything else we have to play by ear. It's just a perfect. This will most likely be our lead. It's just a perfect situation. The perfect scenario is Patters leads with the Deontay, wanting to Magic Bounce the rocks back, and we in turn get the Shell Smash off. And like I said, the priority users are the only two issues that we have, and that's Mach Punch, Vacuum Wave, Infernape, and Sucker Punch Doug Trio. Then again, Hitmontop get Mach Punch too, but it's not as threatening as a Vacuum Wave from Infernape, because as you can see, Omastar's defense is much higher at 125 than the special defense at 70, and especially when we end up lowering our defense with Shell Smashes, last thing we need is those priority users trying to fuck with us. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. Like I said, this will most likely be our lead. If he doesn't, I can't see him not bringing the Infernape, but if he doesn't bring the Doug Trio or the Hitmontop, that would be much better. We sat down with Joey and we came up with a mock team what we think that Patters is going to bring, and we're looking at Infernape, Cresselia, Haxorus, Amoonguss, Doug Trio, Deontay. So hopefully we're not too far off the mark with those, and if that's the case, all goes well, and we will see what happens. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking. I'm very nervous bringing Nautilus and Safety First this week, because you really don't use lower tier mons like that all too often. But we'll see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think about our team, our squad, in the comment section below. Are there any changes or anything else different that you do? Anything that you see that we may need to adjust for next time? Or maybe something we just didn't think of? Let us know. And of course, if you guys are hyped for this week's battle, proud supporters of the Tucson Terrakions and a proud member of the Happy Nation, make sure you smash the like button down below for us, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. And our battle will be up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you for checking the video. We out this bitch. Bye!